Music Showcase, which today is the Midwest Music Showcase, here live at Barnwired in Sigourney. How are we all doing today? Got a nice crowd here at Barnwired, and wow, making her return to the screen in what seems like forever is Amanda. Amanda, how the heck you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
Doing good, and it's a busy day. I'll let you take the mic and tell us all about it.
Yes, today and tomorrow is Rural Road Trip, and from 9 to 5 both days. So a bunch of little shops. What did you just do to me?
Go ahead.
Are open, and you can Neil. You can go around and visit all these shops and support local. Anyway, so yes, we're open till 5 o'clock today, and we're open from 8 to 5 tomorrow. We have restocked and got lots of new items in, along with all these other shops around here have done the same thing. Our lunch special today and tomorrow
You don't like hearing
is,
yourself,
no,
do you?
I do not, is crab or chicken salad
Me
on
neither.
croissant with choice of your side salad or chicken and noodle soup. The sandwich of the week is the marinated chicken breast, which is one of my absolute favorites. Just going to throw that out there.
All right.
Even though it's rainy and crappy, we have warm coffee,
Yeah.
and it's dry and nice in here. So come out and support all of those shops.
I mean, she loves doing this.
See?
Give it up for Amanda. Amanda Snakenberg here at Barnwired. Yeah, we hadn't seen Amanda on screen in quite a while, so
feel honored.
she's nervous. Working the nerves out. Again, we are doing what is usually the Iowa Music Showcase, is the Midwest Music Showcase today, because we don't have an Iowan. We've got, I think you're a native Minnesotan, right?
Native Minnesotan,
Mr. Anderson Daniels, if you want to make some noise for Anderson, make him feel welcome
Thank
here
you.
in our big
Thank
town
you.
of Sigourney, Iowa.
Good to be here.
Anderson, how you doing?
I'm good. I am, tired, but I'm doing great. Yeah,
You literally just walked in here.
Yes. Yeah.
So tell us about, I think you flew in, right?
So I was had a couple shows. So we moved to Austin, Texas, a few months back, and so we were back up for a run of shows in the Midwest. Played in Minneapolis and Chippewa Falls, Wisconsin last weekend. Jumped on a flight out to California, spent a week in Napa Valley for a festival out there, and then flew back into Minneapolis last night, jetted right down here. So it's been a lot, but I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there.
You're all over the place. Now, you and I, we met probably, I'm thinking like 4 or 5 years ago. Up in Minnesota for the Midwest Country Music Organization. They were the association at that time. Yeah. Now they're the MCMO. And we were hanging out there in the Minneapolis area here a few years ago. And yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of things have been going on with you since then. How long have you been doing the music thing kind of on a more serious note?
On a more serious note, it's been since, I like to say, 2018 is when I released my first music, so that's kind of like when I really got my start. I was playing in college, went to St. Cloud State University in Minnesota, and my brother moved to Nashville at the time, was doing a lot of songwriting down there, so I kind of started going to Nashville, learned how the music industry worked, and then signed a publishing deal right out of college and
Nice.
released some music, and we're rolling ever since. So.
Very cool. And you say you moved to Texas. What brought that on?
Yes, Austin, Texas. Just throughout spending my time, in the Midwest and Nashville, and kind of splitting time between those two, I just was looking for a breath of fresh air, and we found that in Austin so far.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been good.
And before that, were you mostly like touring in the Minnesota Midwest area?
Yeah, kind of Midwest out to. We had gone out as far out as California before, but mostly the Midwest and kind of like the Rockies, Colorado,
Okay.
Wyoming, Montana range.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And now, since you moved to Texas, why? All right. So, how about this? Why Texas instead of Nashville?
I always like kind of being that outsider when I go to Nashville, and Austin's really the only other place where you kind of get that country music scene,
Okay.
just in a different style, I think. So
Yeah.
it's something that I wanted to still be surrounded by the music scene, but I kind of wanted just a breath of fresh air and kind of new adventure. So that's what it's been.
And talking about like the different scenes, there is a definite Texas scene. I mean, there's Texas, and then there's kind of everywhere else. Like Texas has their own charts, own their own music charts, their own radio genre, I guess you could say. Is that more suits your style more?
Yeah, I've always been really heavily influenced in my writing and that kind of style. And then I'm a guy that likes to get out and play shows, so they have such a great market there for touring opportunities and all that stuff. So it's a market that I wanted to jump into and dive into, and it's a new challenge and a new opportunity for me. So that's kind of why we picked it.
Very cool. And of course, the reason you're here in Iowa this weekend is because you're teaming up with Iowa's Jake Simon for some shows this weekend, right?
Yeah. We're going to be in Des Moines tonight, and then Davenport tomorrow night. So
okay. And what's the venue tonight? Am I going to put you on the spot?
XBK, I believe.
XBK, and that's like kind of a newer spot in the Des Moines area.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm learning that for the first time. No. No, I've heard nothing but great things, so I'm excited for it, for sure.
And, of course, we just had Jake on here just a few weeks ago, and he's got, does he have a new project? I think he's got a new album that just came out.
Yeah, he's releasing some new stuff. He actually played with us up in Minneapolis last weekend, and I'm coming down here with him for a couple shows. So, kind of do a little co-headlining thing, and it's a big fan of his and excited to get on stage and share some more music with him.
Very cool. Well, you got your guitar in hand. Let's jump into some music here.
Awesome.
Again, we're live at Barn Wired in Sigourney. We're here every Friday for what's generally the Iowa Music Showcase, but featuring Anderson Daniels today. We're just going to call him I don't know. We'll trade you in for Iowa today. How about
Iowan
that?
stepbrother or something
Yes.
like that? Yeah.
Let's do this. Here is Anderson Daniels. What song are you going to do for us first?
So we were actually in the studio last week cutting some new songs. So I'm going to play you something brand new right now. A song I'll have coming out this summer called The Swing of Things.
Cool. Let's do it. Here's Anderson Daniels on our Midwest Music Showcase.
Yeah, baby, when's the last time that just you and I spent a night finding our own rhythm? It's been a hell of a week, we've been a little offbeat, and I think I know what we've been missing. So go and grab your Tacovas, let's head on over. There's a band tonight under neon lights. Let's get back in the swing of things. Spin you round and round, all around that sawdust scene. I take the lead, a little bit of George Street, a little bit of old Hank, no space in between you and me. Get us back in the swing of things. Just a step or two and we'll be lost in a groove, like we're still a couple crazy lovers. Dancing to our song might take all night long, and we got a lot of ground to cover, starting with one foot in front of the other. Let's get back in the swing of things. Spin you round and round, all around that sawdust scene. I take the lead, a little bit of George Street, a little bit of old Hank, no space in between you and me. Get us back in the swing of things. The mood saloon doors, lights hung over the floor. We got all we need where the bob wheels beat. Let's get back in the swing of things. Spin you round and round, all around that sawdust scene. I take the lead, a little bit of George Street, a little bit of old Hank, no space in between you and me. Get us back in the swing of things. You're back in the swing of things.
Hey, it's Anderson
very much.
Daniels.
Thank you.
Here on our music showcase. Again, we're live from Barnwired during Rural Road Trip Weekend here in Southeast Iowa. Busy place here at Barnwired today. You picked the right weekend to be here. Nice crowd.
Crowd. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So again, Anderson Daniels in the state of Iowa doing some shows with Jake Simon this weekend. And let's go back. Actually, before we go any further, are your shows this weekend full band shows, or are you just solo acoustic?
So I'm just playing solo acoustic. Jake's got his full band with him.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So check that out. Again, Des Moines and Davenport, right?
Correct. Yep.
All right. Now, with your Midwest roots, your Minnesota roots, do you still get back to the state of Minnesota throughout the year? Do you still play some shows in the Minnesota area?
Yeah, we had our first show up there was last weekend, and then this summer we're kind of going to be bouncing around the entire Midwest on festival season and stuff like
Okay.
that. So we're looking forward to
Yeah.
enjoying the good months up this way.
Yeah, the nicer weather for sure. And do you still keep in touch? I mean, are there some different artists that you're still friends with? Maybe still keep in touch with message wise and stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, most folks I keep. That's the beauty about nowadays is the
Yeah.
internet. You get to keep up with everybody and kind of see what everybody's doing. And a lot of my friends from the Midwest have gone down to Nashville and everything like that too. So just kind of keeping in touch with everybody and being a fan of everybody from the area that's putting
Yeah.
out music for sure.
Is there anybody you want to name drop? Are there any Minnesota folks that people in Iowa should know about?
My buddy Schmitty is just starting to put out some of his first music. He's been writing for a long time, so he's Minnesota, North Dakota roots, and
Okay.
has done a lot of good stuff. So he's putting out some music. I think he just released a song a week or two ago that's called "Don't Hurt," and it's a really
Okay.
great song. So.
All right. And yeah, speaking of the Minnesota scene, I know since you and I met here a few years ago from that same organization, the Midwest Country Music Organization, the likes of like Darian Lee, Aaron Grand, they've both moved to Nashville. Yeah. I know Haley James has made quite a leap here in her stature in the last few years. And now the Midwest Country Music Organization, I keep name dropping them because they're kind of top of mind this weekend. It's their big weekend. They're having their award show. They moved to the Okoboji area for the awards last year, and that's where they're going to be doing it again tomorrow night, which my wife and I are going to make the cross-state trip to Okoboji to hang out tomorrow night to see the award show. And I know you're up for an award or two, right?
Yeah, I think this year it's 3. Entertainer of the Year, Male Vocalist, and my song Wrong Guy is up for Song of the Year as well. So, yeah.
All right. But you're going to be busy with your own shows, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, this will be the first year that I haven't been able to be in attendance or do any
Okay.
performances for the award show. But it's such a fun night. It's a great night to celebrate, what's going on in the Midwest scene here and to celebrate country music. So,
Are you going to be live via satellite to accept any awards?
I was thinking about that. I was like, I might be off stage by the time they're doing some of that. So maybe we'll see.
Maybe we could record something here today
Yeah.
in advance, just in case.
I might have to FaceTime you during the announcing of some of those awards.
That'd be a lot of fun. Again, Anderson Daniels here at Barnwired. Let's go ahead and do our second song for today, which, by the way, let's talk about this guitar real quick.
Let's do it.
This is a cool-looking guitar. So it's something that I don't think I've ever seen.
Yeah, you don't see them too often, but it's a McPherson guitar. They're based out of Wisconsin, actually, and they make these cool carbon fiber and graphite guitars.
Okay.
So it's not wood; it's all carbon fiber. I mean, you could paddle up the river with this thing, and it doesn't get
the way things are going this weekend here in Iowa. We might,
Yeah, I
you
know.
might need to paddle
That's
down
what
the river.
I said. I was between a couple different guitars when I was gonna get a new one, and I played this thing, and I was like, I gotta have that, especially for touring the Midwest in the wintertime. The weather does not affect this thing, so I love it.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and do your next song, which is called what?
I'm going to do The Wrong Guy. So this is a song I put out last year. It's up for the Midwest CMO Award for Song of the Year. I put this one out. It was one of those songs where when I wrote it that same day, I wrote this one in Nashville with a few friends of mine, and same day I knew I was going to record this song after we got done writing it because I loved it that much. And we put it out last year. It did a lot of really big things for me. So it's opened up some doors, and then it goes something like this here.
All right, Anderson Daniels on our showcase.
Excuse me, miss, been waiting to ask, is there some kind of history behind that half-empty glass in your hand? I hope you don't misunderstand me. If I tip the band, take you out on the floor, get you to dance before you say anymore, get to rolling those eyes, or brand me a stereotype, then you got the wrong idea if you think we're about to bail out the back of the bar. You got the wrong impression if you think I'm fixing a two-step all over your heart. I ain't no saddle up right away, gone the next day, Jesse James, cowboy kind. So if you're looking for a one-night stand kind of man who can't ever treat you right, then you got the wrong kind. If you give me a shot, I won't take it for granted. I'm a little more spin you round and leave you stranded at the end of a song. So if that's what you want, then you got the wrong idea if you think we're about to bail out the back of the bar. You got the wrong impression if you think I'm fixing a two-step all over your heart. I ain't no saddle up right away, gone the next day, Jesse James, cowboy kind. So if you're looking for a one-night stand kind of man who can't ever treat you right, then you got the wrong kind. You got the wrong guy. If you're thinking I'm just another neon, do you wrong waste of a pickup line, then you got the wrong idea if you think we're about to bail out the back of the bar. You got the wrong impression if you think I'm fixing a two-step all over your heart. I ain't no saddle up right away, gone the next day, Jesse James, cowboy kind. So if you're looking for a one-night stand kind of man who can't ever treat you right, then you got the wrong guy. You got the wrong kind.
I like it. Nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anderson Daniels here on our showcase on Steve Shetler Media. Now, me being a former radio guy, are you going for radio airplay, or are you just going for more social media type stuff?
Yeah, we've kind of been going that route. I mean, that is obviously something that I'd love to get into. You know the industry. It can be a challenge with the radio, but yeah, we'd like to eventually kind of get more and more into that for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you need a promoter, I can hook you up with some
that.
good people. Let me know. Let's see here. Now, this part of the interview, we do 5 random questions.
All right.
So this is just kind of whatever comes into your brain.
This is my favorite stuff right here.
All right.
Let's do it.
First question for Anderson Daniels: what was the last board game that you played?
Board game, probably Monopoly. I want to say Monopoly or Sequence. I love playing board games, especially on weeknights and stuff like that. We just learned this new card game. It's called Nerds, and it's so much fun. So we're obsessed with playing that type of stuff for sure. I'm
going to ask my wife real quick. I'm going to put you on the spot. What was that card game we just learned? Taco Cat Goat Pizza. Get that.
All right.
I recommend
I'm going to look that
That's
up
a lot
right
of
when
fun.
I leave here.
Question 2 for Anderson Daniels. Speaking of awards weekend, what's the biggest award that you have ever won in your life?
I won the New Artist of the Year award at the first ever Midwest CMO Awards, and I think that one was definitely a stepping stone for me because it just kind of gave me that validity of, it was right after I put out my first record, so it kind of made me feel like I was doing something right, and then, to be able to kind of say New Artist of the Year, across the board has been great for me. So
nice thing on your resume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, hey, I just thought if you win tomorrow night, I could accept on your behalf.
Let's do that.
You trust me with your thank you speech, right?
Everybody's out here kind of looking at me like, don't do it.
You're like, hey, everybody. Question 3. What was when was the last time you walked out of something? So like a movie or have you ever walked out on something?
I don't think I've walked out of any movies. I am kind of that Irish goodbye guy sometimes. So I will,
Just kinda
if
disappear.
I'm socially, I get, if the batteries are drained, I'm kind of like, all right, see ya. And so, yeah, I don't know when the last time I
Yeah.
did that was. Probably recent, but
So if you just disappear late when we're done with this,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
know
yeah.
why. Question 4. Who is your favorite late night talk show host?
I was always a big Conan O'Brien fan. He was my favorite when he was, because he's not doing it anymore, right? He was on TV.
I don't know if he's on TBS anymore or if he's on.
I think he's doing his own
Yeah.
show or something like that.
I mean, there's so many streaming outlets
yeah,
anymore. Who knows?
Yeah, there's so many going on now on different networks and everything. Jimmy Fallon's always got some good stuff too.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And then question 5. Have you ever thought that where you lived was haunted? How about that for random?
No, I've never felt that.
Have you ever experienced that ever in any place? That
No,
you've
not
no
really.
Noises at night?
Some people talk about ghosts and stuff like that. I believe in spirits, and I don't pay much attention to it. I kind of
So if it is, you
I
don't
don't-
even.
yeah, I don't try and get too wrapped up in that. I might start scaring myself everywhere I go if I do.
Exactly. All right, so those are your 5 questions. I think you did very well on that. Again, Anderson Daniels making an Iowa swing this weekend with Iowa country artist Jake Simon in Des Moines and Davenport. Make sure if you want to make a road trip this weekend in the rainy weather, you can check these guys out. Some great music. Let's do one more song before we wrap this up today.
Cool. Well, I'm gonna do the song that kind of got me started in country music, and I was writing songs in my college dorm room. Sent a bunch out to some people in Nashville, and this was a big one that kind of has changed a lot of things for me. I think this is a big reason why we took home the New Artist of the Year award a few years back, and it's called Heartland. I wrote about growing up here in the Midwest. So.
Awesome. All right. Again, give it up for Anderson Daniels here on our Music Showcase.
You won't read about us in the New York Times. There ain't no LA screenplay about our way of life. Don't get a lot of recognition, that's how the story goes. The only time we're on CNN is when a twister tears through the town and no one knows. Here's one for the heartland, the place we get it done with our own 2 hands. Might be that little town that you ain't heard about, where them boys fight for Uncle Sam. And here's one for the home team. The colors you wear are the colors you bleed. It might not be our year, but we'll lose, we're still a fan. Here's one for the heartland. We pull off on the side of the road when somebody needs our help. When we think about what's best for us, we don't think about what's best for ourselves. From the hills and the fields to them Rocky Mountains high, if you help us out, we get it on our own. Either way, we're getting by. So here's one for the heartland, the place we get it done with our own 2 hands. Might be that little town that you ain't heard about, where them boys fight for Uncle Sam. And here's one for the home team. Them colors you wear are the colors you bleed. It might not be our year, but we'll lose, we're still a fan. Here's one for the heartland, one for the heartland. Here's one for the heartland. That place we get it done with our own two hands. Might be that little town that you ain't heard about, with a boy's fiber Uncle Sam, and he is one for the home team. The colors you wear are the colors you bleed. It might not be all year, but with love's we're still a fan. Here's one for the homeland. Here's one for the heartland.
Anderson Daniels
Thank you
on
so
our
much.
music
Thank you.
showcase, live from Barn Wired in big old Sigourney, Iowa. Again, a rural road trip going on this weekend. Busy place here today at Barn Wired and all throughout the different locations for the rural road trip. Again, Anderson Daniels, Minnesotan via Texas, hanging out in Iowa this weekend. So it's just kind of all in a straight
All
line.
over you went
from
right
Minnesota
down
down to
35.
Texas, you're back up to Iowa. So, I was going to ask, any big gigs coming up later on, maybe this spring and summer?
So we've got so from here this weekend, then I'll be in Plano, Texas, at a place called Love and War, which is a very historic venue down there, which I'm really excited about. And then we'll be back up for Lakes Jam up in Brainerd, Minnesota, with Jake Owen and a few others kind of popping up throughout the summertime. So I'm looking forward to it.
And what's the best place for people to find you online?
AndersonDanielsMusic.com has all my music, all my tour dates, all that stuff. I probably hang out on Instagram the most out of any of the socials, but Facebook, Spotify, Apple Music, everything. We're international in that. I always say, we're global.
Yes.
You can search the internet anywhere and find
Global
me, so.
superstar. And I was going to ask you one more thing. Oh, new music. Do you have new stuff coming out?
Yeah, I do. So this year we're planning on putting out 6 total songs. First one came out in March. We were in the studio last week cutting the next couple, but it's going to be kind of the first one was a song called In Deep that I put out on March 1st, and it's a very rock-based song, and then we're going to do a very much more traditional song, country song, and kind of bounce back and forth between those two, because those are my two biggest influences as an artist. So kind of playing both genres right now and finally getting to kind of do a little bit of both of those things. So
Very cool. Well, Anderson, thank you so much for taking the time to come down here to Sigourney today.
absolutely, thank you for having me. Thank you to everybody for being here and tuning in online.
And again, if you want to see him, he's in Iowa this weekend, Des Moines tonight, and Davenport tomorrow night, right?
Correct. Yep.
All right, that's Anderson Daniels on our music showcase. We're here every Friday at Barn Wired, featuring a different country artist. Usually country. Most of them are country, but it's it's whatever genre wants to come our way. So, and actually, next weekend is open. I still need to book somebody for next Friday. So, if you're still in Iowa and you're coming back through,
I'd come back up.
we'll
but,
double dip it. So, what's that, Neil? Neil had a thought come to mind, and it's probably not good. Anyway, we're out of here. Thanks for tuning in here on Steve Shuttler Media. We'll see you again next Friday from Barn Wired for the Iowa Music Showcase.